I've not seen it yet.
You're live now.
Oh, I am? Okay. Yes. Hello. Good morning. Good morning.
We hear you loudly and clearly. Keep going.
Oh, how do I reduce the volume of this YouTube?
Oh, the YouTube is affecting you. You have to go to the YouTube chat,
Yeah.
a YouTube tab, and turn down the volume.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, go to YouTube
Uh-huh.
and turn the volume down. If it's distracting to you, just turn off the tab.
I'm turning off the tab, please.
Yeah, you're fine, and just proceed.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
No problem.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm still learning this technology, but thank God that Auntie Lynn is here to help me. If it is Sunday, it is Sunday special with one global movement, a movement that is created to help youths with a focus on the young girls globally. This stems from a unique story of an 11-year-old girl who is this woman speaking right here today, who went through some major challenges in life. And she now uses her unique story to educate, to inspire, to uplift, and to empower youths globally with a focus on the young woman, with education, inspiration, direction, and a protective alarm so that they can be bold enough to speak up and speak out and use the resources at their disposal to thrive, to build generational wealth while living a life of leadership and purpose. So, spring is around the corner. Spring is a time of rejuvenation. It's a time to breathe in fresh air. It's a time to get ready to start smelling the sweet flowers and to walk in the park or walk in the bush, whatever it is. Spring is a time of rejuvenation, rebirth, and a time to uplift our minds so that we can focus on the beauty of nature, the beauty of the world, and the beauty that we find in people even more. So today, we're going to be talking about unplug. That's our topic for today. Unplug, which also means take a break. My name is Yvonne Mundih, and I am the only one here today. My co-host busy with some family responsibilities. And so, but I'm glad that Auntie Lynn is here, Rob Gorman is here, John Barilla is here. And later on, we're going to have a surprise on the show. I'm not going to reveal the names, but they're going to come. So let's dive into the topic of the day. So, unplug. Unplug. What is another name for unplug? It means take a break. Take a break and breathe. Breathe some fresh air into your system. Take a break from whatever it is that you are doing and sit quietly with yourself and rethink. I always like to begin with a quote. Almost everything will certainly work again if you just unplug it for a few minutes, including you. Unplug yourself too, not just the other things around you. You can unplug yourself. Sometimes the best way to recharge is to unplug. That means sometimes the best way to recharge is to take a break, even if it is for 2 minutes. Oh my God, I see Marty Digamo. Surprise. So that is what it means. So as a mom, spending quality time on the guitar with my family is a simple and relaxing way to unplug and help my children learn and to relax together with them, bringing into us music. That music, taking that break and then just playing the guitar with our family, with the children, will help them a lot. School is the most powerful weapon. Education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change the world, in the words of President Nelson Mandela. But as a student, you also need to disconnect, to unplug, to take a break at times in order to be even more concentrated when you go back to your studies. That is why our children are coming home for spring break, because they need that break to unplug from studies and focus on something else, like shuffling the snow with the family, or going to the gym like I do with my son, or do something together that is going to take our mind off school for children and off work for the parents, and focus it on other things that will make us to restart, to rethink fresh when we come back to those functions. So what is really unplug? Unplugging is a disconnection from the chaos of life that comes in multiple and different forms, with one being an over-reliance on social media, different forms of social media. It's not by the default of the device, no, not at all, but by the choice of the user, who feels somehow living their lives plugged into someone else's life to give themselves satisfaction. But thank God for Unpassive. Unpassive is here with the kind of artificial intelligence, social media product that they've built that protect our children, protect families, clean, high quality products that you will be learning. You will be living your life in a better way, instead of living the life that I'm not criticizing, but that is just what it is. It's good to tell the truth, because our children are going to really unplug themselves, take a break, and focus on those things that matter in their lives, instead of just perusing and looking at social media that it does not add any value upon their lives. Unplugging is an act of helping our youth separate from what doesn't align with their values and heart-centered desires and goals in life. So that is what Unpassive is all about. Building high product that focuses on the child for generations to come. And maybe, who knows, until the end of times. And these children will really feel elevated and really feel taking a break and unplugging their memories, focusing on the things that they will grow up with. Our daily. So what are some of the things that the youth and young girls need unplugging from? What are those things? Now, number one, we talk about our daily schedules and demands, such as unplugging from society's expectations. It's not just only from social media. Society's expectations. We are living in a world where our children, our youths, have been programmed to follow what is on the media, the news, to follow, for instance, the Hollywood. This is how you're supposed to be. Instead of building in our children that self-confidence, that self-worth, to believe in themselves the way they were created to be, they tend to look outside. And when you tend to look outside, our children end up not being happy. So we need to teach our children to look within themselves instead of looking outside. So unplugging from overcommitment to tasks and people that don't matter or add value into our lives. Our children need to be trained from cradle to unplug from people that add value into their lives, to unplug from friends that are not thinking the way they are thinking, friends that are not positive. They need to unplug from those things, because remember, what you take in, it doesn't only mean through your mouth. What you take in through your ears, what you take in through your eyes, that affects our children. So our children should be trained to unplug from those kind of things. That is why Unpassive is here. It is a company that focuses on high ethical standards, a company that works from the heart, that love is in the center, family, children are in the center of Unpassive. This is where our children need to be. This is where we all need to be, because this is going to build that value in our children, because children are impressionable. If they see what you're doing, they will copy, whether it is good or bad, because they don't know any better. But we now are in unpassive. We're going to be building those things while also building it into them. And thank God that some of them, they are already founders, because they were 18 when unpassive came along. And so I am so proud, because my son enrolled for himself and enrolled for the grandmother too. And so he's a founder, even though I'm the one helping him with his account now that he is in school. So we can unplug from a life of I should have, I could have, or I wish. No, there are no wishes in life. Remember, our CEO said, if you want to be happy, if you want to be successful and be truly happy with your success, you need to work hard. You don't wish for things. Things don't come by wishing for them. You work for things. You have to put in your due diligence and work it with love and happiness that come only from within yourself. Then you will be happy. You don't say I could have, I should have, regretting. You do not, because whether you do something and fail or you don't, all of those things still come together to build you up, depending on how you take it. Because failure in essence is a way of saying you can do better. You can do it over and over. You're building a solid foundation to take off. So unplugging from a life of overconsumption and materialism. Some of us, we have too much. And especially some of our children, they ask for too much or something that they're entitled to things. No, Some of us will eat 3 meals a day. Are we sure that there are people out there, some of our people out there that have enough to eat? We wear clothing, we change them. There are some people who don't have clothing. There are some people who are homeless. They are hungry. What are we doing? Are we sharing? Mr. Ashmufara said, if somebody gives you a good meal, wouldn't you want to share it with others? That is such a big, big statement to unravel. That means we have been blessed with unpassive. Won't you be happy to take unpassive to all corners of the world, to share it with people, especially to those people who don't have this opportunity? I am going to be a messenger. I am going to be an ambassador to take this to all corners of the world, to share the educational system, all academy with the world, children of the world, to share all play so that our children are focused on games that matter, to share all connect, to be able to connect with the world, all net, to be able to be our own form of social media that is so clean and so positive that our children can begin to come along and know that, they will breathe that satisfaction, that air of satisfaction that says, this is what I needed. Now they unplug from all those impurities of their environment and focus on what matters to them. Unplugging from traditional paths that does not make you feel alive. Remember that tradition is okay if it is your desire. Is that what is good for you? I had to begin to unplug from a culture, a tradition that says, I am reduced to be a housewife. I am reduced to be a childbearer. I am reduced to being an illiterate because I'm a woman. I had to begin to unplug with it, but that takes determination. It takes determination to unplug from those things. You don't just sit. You have to constantly work. Look at ways that you can do that. While you're doing that for yourself, you're also helping other people to do that for themselves. So perhaps more importantly is unplugging from all our devices, social media. Take a break. Remember, something is coming so big to us on Passive Family so soon here. So huge that when I think of it, I jump. Even from my bed at night, I jump. I don't know why I do that, but I do it because I don't know how to unravel what I've seen and what is still coming more. We need to unplug from the other devices that don't mean something, helping our children to unplug from those things that are distracting them but not adding value into their lives. We unplug and prepare. Oh, Connect is coming. We prepare it so for when it comes, We know what we are doing. We prepare by going to our back office, checking things out, like our old tech guy said, Collins, check the back office, check it. Like our leader, Mr. Martin Digamo said, go here, make sure that you're doing this. He said something the other day that I picked it up. He didn't know. And then I started doing it on YouTube. I don't know anything about YouTube, but I picked it up and I was doing it. So we need to go check all those things every day, logging in and checking and getting ready for our own thing on passive. On passive is the place to be. So we need to do that. So ways to unplug yourself. How can you unplug yourself? I'm going to give you a little statistics. In 2019, research studies found that 28% of adults and 48% of 18 to 29-year-old children report they are online constantly. That's up from 21% in 2015. So I have seen more and more discussions about unplugging from technology that is not adding value into our children. And I have had a lot of friends and colleagues talk about wanting to use technology less and less because what comes in those platforms is not healthy for our brains. But I am lucky. I am one lucky woman with lucky children and the children of the world, being a founder and a family member of Unpassive. These things are not going to be there. Our CEO says it all the time. Our leaders, they say it all the time. And we have to copy this pattern. Do things from the heart with love. And we know that some of us is going to be difficult for us to do. And if it's difficult for us, it's going to be difficult to teach our children to do it because we come from various backgrounds and various orientations and upbringing. But guess what? We have people like Auntie Lynn Nakamoto. That I have been behind her. Teach me to do this because I did not come from that background. And so I am learning. And so let us be respectful and humble to learn from those who know. Let us be nosy. If you're like me, I'm nosy. I will ask the question until it is answered. Let us teach our children to be nosy, asking those questions, grabbing people, sending those emails out, texting them. And even sometimes I don't know what to say because that's what I would do. I send the email, I'll call, I'll text, I will ask, well, how can I get a hold of this person? Because I know we've been listening to them. We know who they are. We know how we can get that help because until we get that help and build our mindset and unplug those other impurities, we cannot build this business on passive well. Remember, it's our business. It's our company. You're not doing it for somebody. You're doing it for yourself. We have to put all those great, valuable resources in place. That is character, good ethical standards, and love for humanity in place in order to build these things to go up. Because this company, our president, our CEO, our brother built it based upon high ethical standards and value. A very great mission to the world. I've never seen this, but thank God that I am part of it. He is an answer to the dream that my grandmother said, go into the world and help the children and women all over the world. That God has aligned people on your path of life. And I'm seeing this. How did she know? It's been a long time. How did she know? And here I have been ushered into a great company, into the hands and hearts of great men and women. I could not have asked for anything larger than this. And my children are enjoying already. They're enjoying. So we all are struggling with this to some extent. We are struggling to unplug, to take a break from things that don't have value because we don't see otherwise. We don't see other things around us. But Unpassive is here. We've seen it. It's there. It will then be our responsibility to make sure that we unplug from all those chatters, negative chatters around our environment, all the news. You're watching news that doesn't give you any value. Our children need to unplug from all of those things. So now, I've talked about Unpassive is my life, and I always talk about Unpassive. Unpassive is here as the #1 social media, artificial intelligence, high quality company in the world that is going to unplug our children. A lot of time we see our children exhibiting behavior. We don't know why. Because when they keep pounding your head, keep pounding your mind with things that don't have any value. Your subconscious mind will take it, and those things begin to bring out that behavior in you. You don't know what you're doing. I've not been watching TV for more than 10 years. If it is not a program that I want to watch, that I know that it is valuable to me, oh no. But now I know I have a place to go. Unpassive every day. Unpassive, if I wake up at night, unpassive. I dream it, I drink it, I live it. And we need to train our children so that they can unplug from all of these social media that are pulling them into things that make them not to see the worth and the self-worth and value into themselves. Now education is here. Who would not want to send their children here from kindergarten to PhD? Who would not want that? A lot of valuable things here, ladies and gentlemen. So turn off. How can we unplug from this thing? You turn off your phone, your email notification. Some emails are coming. Somebody like me, I don't know how to filter my emails to know that these ones are the ones that I can read. These ones are not. They keep coming, and we keep looking to see. That is distracting us. But guess what? Our mailing system in Unpassive, all those filters, powerful filters have been put in place where you know what to get. You know what email you want to attract to yourself. You know which one to let go. That is so powerful. Each time your phone buzzes, alert you of an email, guess what? You don't have to. You're not compelled to touch on that email. You let it go. Number 2, set boundaries for your school or work day. We need to set boundaries for our school or work day. Because if you don't set those boundaries, some people's else's boundaries will encroach into your own school schedule and your work schedule. We need to set those boundaries. And we have been given that opportunity through Unpassive to set those boundaries. Turn off text messages alerts. Unplug yourself. Take a break. Turn them off and rest. Rest to recuperate so that you can focus on what matters to you. And what matters to me right now is Unpassive. I've searched throughout the world in my life. I've spent a lot of money. I'm not going to say I wasted the money, because I didn't waste it. While I was paying to all these companies to look for something that I really wanted to do, which is to educate, to uplift, to help, to build the hopes and dreams of youths, particularly young girls. I was paying all this money. But what happened was, that money didn't go in vain. I was learning and building my foundation and knowing that there is better. And that curiosity has ushered me into the presence of great men and women, into the greatest company in the world, Unpassive. And I am so grateful for that. So we need to do that with our children. We're not just doing it for ourselves. Most importantly, for our children who don't know most of the time what direction they are going, but it starts from the home. We have to do that from the home. Change your phone display to grayscale. Just change your phone, the displays on your phone, to a grayscale. And then another one, number 5, find other activities you enjoy. Talk about gaming, old game in Unpassive. That is the bomb. Games that are teaching you, games that are helping you in what you are doing, helping you live your life the best way possible. Games that are family games that can bring the family together in a very positive and uplifting manner. Those are the games that I'm going to learn to play. I don't know how to play any games, but I will learn those ones so that I can play with my kids. That's what the kind of games that we should be playing, the kind of activities that we should be involved in. And we building ourselves while doing that at the same time. What company, which company, who in the world has ever offered that? But for our one and only brother, Mr. Ash Mufara. You guys don't know. I am so excited about this experience. Buy an alarm clock. Buy an alarm. Sleeping next to your phone often means it's the last thing you look at before bed and one of the first things you see in the morning. Instead, get an alarm clock, not your phone to look on the things on your phone, because there are so many apps that you're tempted to look that they just intentionally send your way, because these are telemarketers that want to just sometimes scam you, sometimes fool you, sometimes get you enrolled into their company. Get an alarm and let your phone get away from your bedside. So this is what we should be teaching our children. Leave your technology at home sometimes and go have fun to unplug your brain. Maybe go for bowling with your friends, but our own bowling in Unpassive is coming. Maybe just walk and smell the beauty of the flowers now that spring is around. Maybe just call a friend and to say, I just called to say hello, how are you doing? That is something. You unplug yourself and plug into the right people, the right activities, and the right environment. Put down your phone at mealtime. I sometimes I tell my son, honey, put down your phone when we are having dinner. This is time for you to put down your phone and interact with family. It's family time. Dinner means coming together as one and enjoy family time together. So we train our children to put down our phone by putting them down ourselves, because they're going to be seeing and copying what we ourselves are doing. Find technology alternatives like Unpassive is building for us. There are so many alternative and healthy alternatives, not just any kind of alternative. There are very healthy ones that would really help us and our children to do something better and build our families and ourselves better, so that we can be able to stretch a hand out to the world and also help to build the world better. So these and many more, sometimes we need to do handwritten notes, not just depending on typing, because we will lose that writing, because what you don't use, you lose it. We need to write. I write every day, journaling, first thing in the morning. What are the thoughts that come your head? Or what are the 3 things that you can be grateful for every day? Write it down. For me, the number 1 is I'm grateful to Unpassive. I'm grateful to the leaders that have built me up. I am learning computers from scratch. I'm learning to punch the keys. That's why sometimes I feel like the key is going to break and I don't want to punch it. And so I'm learning, but I am ready to learn, and I'm catching it and I'm doing it. So we learn to do that. Then track your usage and set your goals. When you set goals, I mean smart goals for yourself, goals that are specific, they are time bound, little goals that you can accomplish every day. Remember, those little wins are what accumulates into big wins. So spring is coming. Spring is rejuvenation. It's a time to unplug and focus. Let's walk in the bush. Let's hike. Let's do things. Let's smell the beauty of nature, the flowers. Let's even send some of those flowers to friends across the globe, to the Unpassive family. That is a way to uplift and unplug yourself and uplift yourself to a higher frequency that is going to help us to think better, live better, and be healthy. So no texting and walking, no texting and even driving. We shouldn't even be doing that. It's dangerous. We teach our children not to do that. Remove addictive apps that are on our phone. I don't know how to remove them. I just ignore them, because there are a lot of apps that are being sent our way, bombard our children with, and they think that because they are learning or trying to find their identity, they think that they have to click on those ads without knowing that when you click on it, you might have been pushed into something that is not good for you. So that is so wonderful. So what are some of the benefits of unplugging? A lot of benefits to take a break, to unplug from negative friends, from a negative environment, to unplug from forms of social media that are not adding value into your life. Spring is here. Spring is here for you to unplug. It is a beautiful, beautiful time to unplug from a lot of things. Your mind, body and soul will be energized when you unplug. Your mind, your body, and your soul will be energized when you unplug from those things and focus on what matters to you. Number two, it helps you to get back to the basics of life, such as getting in touch with nature and breathing in fresh air that is good for our lungs and overall health. Yes, you embrace nature. You walk around, maybe you touch the flower, you see the bee, you admire the bee sucking the nectar, the sweet nectar from the flowers. That is beautiful things. Or you just go and stand by the lake, walk around the lake, or ride your bicycle around the lake. If you're like me, riding a bicycle is something great for me. And I'm trying to get back to riding the horse because it's been a long time that I've not rode a horse. We do those things that make us happy so that when we come back, our minds are refreshed. We can get into our businesses. We can get into helping people even more. Unplug reduces stress and anxiety. Very true. A lot of our children are suffering from anxiety. And now what happens? We take them to the doctors, not knowing that we can do something better by making them take a break, unplugging them. Now what do? They prescribe medications that will have side effects, and then they start taking those medications. Before you know, they are dependent on those medications, and then those medications they get immune to. They don't work anymore in their system. They use another medication to treat the side effects of those ones. Before you know, we have a huge box full of medications. No, let us unplug and live life naturally by doing the natural things that matter to us instead of depending on things that don't matter. Unplug allows our children to build real relationships with families and friends. When our children unplug, they do that. And then helping our children bond with soil through gardening, plucking the weeds from the garden, watering the plants, smelling the flowers, or just kneading the soil in between their fingers. If you're like me, I love to farm, I love to do gardening. My parents own a cocoa and coffee plantation, and throughout our lives, they did farming, especially my mom and my grandmother, to educate us. And right here, I am doing that farming, not even using the tiller. I use the local hoe. You're going to see pictures of that because that is a way to teach children to do that. It gives me, it's not just therapy. It helps me relax. It helps me know that soil is nature. Soil is something that we were built out of. Soil is so important. Soil absorbs water. Water is life. Those things are so important. Unplugging will also help our kids to focus on appreciation and gratitude. When you unplug children from all these negative social forms of medias, negative friends, negative environment, even us negative parents, because some of the parents are negative, our children will be apt to see the goodness in things that people do for them, to see the goodness in the things that the roads that they use to drive their cars on, see the teachers that are teaching them to be able to say, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, to be able to appreciate you at home and do more. So unplugging helps a lot, not just our children, all of us. But we thank God for unpassive that is there. So in conclusion, when the minds of our youths are unplugged, when they are given a break, when it is cleared or decluttered from things, people, situations, and other forms of social media that are not good for them, that will mean a lot. It will add a lot of meaning and value in their life. They will perform better in whatever they're doing, in school, in studies, at home, in the community with friends and family. They'll be happy, they'll be successful. They will be apt to pick the good things from the bad ones and to know that when something is good, I don't have to condemn it. I can do something to fix or to fix it indirectly without that person knowing that I'm doing something. So this always has to start from the home and from a very young age, teaching our own children the good values by doing it ourselves. Doing it ourselves. It even has to start from the womb. When the child is in the womb, what are you telling your unborn child? What are you telling that child in there? What are you eating? What kind of food are you taking? What are you hearing? Know that whatever you're doing, that child's, that fetus, that baby's ability depends on you you better do the right thing while that child is still in our womb. While the father is speaking to the child, while the child is in the womb, rubbing the mother's stomach and talking good things, prophesying and saying good things to that child, the mother should be doing the same. Because when you do, guess what? Nature is wonderful. God Almighty is wonderful. That child comes out to be something else. I'm saying out of experience. That's the experience my grandmother taught me, and it works. So thank you all so much for listening. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm going to always end this by saying, stay focused, stay encouraged, stay empowered, and always, always believe in endless possibilities. Thank you so much. I am going to, I had a surprise last night during the Roblin show, Roblin Live. One of our, not one, two of our greatest leaders, they surprised me. And they said they're going to attend my show. And I can see Mr. Digamo. I am so happy to just announce that they're coming here to my show. This little mini me that came out of the grass. And now I've been ushered into grace in the presence of these men and women. Lynn Nakamoto, Rob Gorman, Mr. Digamo, Chris Johnson, Collins Manna, even overall, Mr. Ash Mufare is something that my family would never, never forget. I'm grateful. Can you please usher these great men in? Thank you so much. Oh, here he goes. Hello. Thank you guys for coming.
You let Marty DeGarmo on here? Yvonne, what's the matter with you?
You two work together so great. I'm happy to see you two. I'm following you two everywhere. Thank you so much for coming.
Well, you're welcome. Wow, wait, let me start, Marty. Because I'm going to tell you what Yvonne just taught you all. It's called old school traditions that worked for many years, and we forgot about those traditions. The new traditions that we have today, and you hit every point, Yvonne. Not having number here. Let me throw another point for me is, and this is me. Put God first in everything, and your life will succeed. Okay, I believe Unpassive is a God-fearing company, and I love that part of it. And we have all kind of different religion names on here, but I know we're all praying to God, and I believe in that. You know, some traditions in life are horribly boring, like working for 30 plus years. All right. The same thing over and over, repetitiveness. So, and you hit every point. I don't even have to speak about get rid of negative people in your life. You want to disconnect from the news today. It doesn't you no good. When I started on Passive, I was oh my God, and I was going crazy. And I finally told myself, turn off the TV, stop watching the negativity of the world. I got into Unpassive, and I didn't see any of the hate. I didn't see the wars. I saw a bunch of people of every color, every race, every size, every gender coming together from one simple goal is let's create a better world. Yes. Because the traditional world, I'm sorry, it's horrible.
Yes.
All right. And let me give you another opinion, all you parents out there. My opinion only. It is okay to tell your kids no, because that's what really teaches them. No, you cannot have your phone on at the dinner table. No, you cannot go out at 11 o'clock. You're 12 years old. That's just part of life sometimes. But it's okay to teach those kids things. But what Yvonne taught us was things that I grew up on, and I loved hearing it. Everything that you said touched my life. And oh my gosh, I wish people would go back to old traditions, because the new traditions to me are not healthy for your family. They're definitely not healthy for the environment. We have too much hate and not enough love and peace. And I believe Unpassive is going to bring all that. So, Yvonne, thank you. Is it Briddy and Karine or Karine?
Yes, Briddy and Karine. And sometimes they live in South Africa. The internet sometimes is a problem there, so they were not able to join today.
Oh, we're fixing things in Africa. You know that. Yeah, we're starting at a small school, which is turned really big right now. And We have a lot of work to do in Africa, period. Not because the country is bad. It's because there's so much things that are so far apart. And there's a lot of things that a lot of people don't know. And we're bringing it to people's attention. And the world wants to help. So Africa, we do have a lot of work to do. But
Thank
it's
you.
started already. Yvonne, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for speaking. Come on, Mr. Digamo.
Wow, I don't know if I want to follow Chris, but yeah, I was listening too. You know, I think as we know, the Bible said life is but a vapor, appears a short time and then soon vanishes away. Unplugging from things that do you no good. A lot of cases, there's things out there that we focus on that you can't change. So why do it? Life's too short to worry about things that you have no control over. There's a lot of things you do have control over. You know, I read something a long time ago. A guy said, you're always 100% correct. If you believe you can, you will. If you believe you won't, you won't.
Yeah.
And I've seen people go a long ways believing. I think I think it was Yvonne that brought it up where all the biggest treasures in the world are. They're in cemeteries. People that never lived their life. They lived the years. They might have lived 80, 90 years, but they really never lived. They buried themselves with what they could have done. Listen, Ashmafara said one time that his father said to him, you'll be remembered by what you gave, not by what you earned.
Yes.
And it's 100% true. Why would it feel so good to give if it wasn't right? Right? Somebody said, well, I'm not my brother's keeper. Yes, we are.
Yes.
Now, if you refuse to do that, that's you. But on passive it's brother's keeper. You don't just put a hand down. You grab somebody and you put them above yourself.
Yes.
Somebody said to me, oh, how do I become a big leader? I said, I don't know. But I do know this. If you help people and focus on them with no agenda, you have no reason. You're not doing it to get something for yourself. And people believe you, people will follow you. If that's a leader, that can be done by anyone. Anyone. I think people, when they try so hard to be something, they miss the whole point. People want to follow somebody they believe and somebody that they trust and somebody that they believe has something to say that's good. Yes, I goof around a lot with Chris and all that. It's because I love him. I love Mr. Mufara. I spent 20 years working online and built big teams, big teams. But you know what happened? I failed. I couldn't bring anybody with me. The industry is corrupt. It's set up for 1 or 2% to succeed, and that's it. And everybody else is used to get to the top. That can't be right. That can't be the way it should be. And I prayed for years for something to come along. And I thought, you know what? Maybe it just doesn't exist. I was praying for Unpassive before Ash ever thought of it. I didn't know I was until it hit me in the face and I went, oh my God, this is what I've been looking for. That's why I'm so passionate about it. People, oh, thank you for all the time you put in. Listen, when you find something you love, there's two most important days of your life are the day you were born and you find out the reason why. If you get those two things together, you've got it made. And if you walk in the shadow of God, you can't fail. There is no failing. People said to me, oh, there's darkness and light. Listen, you take the strongest darkness you can and you open it up in a broad daylight and it dissipates. It has no power, zero. Unpassive was built with heart. Do we have the best products in the world? Absolutely. It's a byproduct. The real reason for Unpassive is to change the world for the good. Thank God. That's what one day I said to Ash, and I've told this story. I said, do you ever have any time off? He said, very rarely. Lately, not at all. But this was about a year ago. I said, he goes, yeah, that's funny you should ask. Yesterday I had 4 hours, and me and the family went to Costco and filled up our SUV with food and water, and we gave it to the poor. That's what Mr. Mufaro did on his day off, or his hours off. Then he thought, what would the world be like if we create a business with 1 million people that can do the same? And that's what we have. We have 1 million people that are going to give, because the company drew people that they're like, people with heart. I said last night, many people have 20/20 vision, but they cannot see.
Yes.
Many people have perfect hearing and they cannot hear. Unpassive brought in people that hear and see with their heart. And that's why when we see something that's so clear, and somebody that doesn't see it, it's not even in their sight. They can smell it, they can look at it, but they can't see it because of darkness, because of the way they walk, because of how they believe. But man, what I see and what other people see is bewildering to me. This is a gift from God, and yet somebody that you show it to, they see it and go, I don't get it. That's too bad. That is life. But we did get it. And you look at what's happening with this gentleman that Chris is taking care of. He's not helping one man. He's helping hundreds of people. He's helping future men and women. When they grow up, they're going to say, there was this guy, there was this company that did this and this for us, complete strangers. And do you know what that's going to do? That's going to cultivate people into giving. Those little children are going to be adults one day, and they're going to remember what happened. And they're going to do the same. So how many people did this help? Tens of thousands, maybe. Generations to come will change because of one good deed. So remember that. If you have time to do something nice.
Yes.
Don't expect anything in return. There's people out right now giving that have nothing. That's who God looks at. There's people that give that have nothing. And I'm really thankful for being here, Yvonne.
Oh,
And you were determined to get a hold of me and Chris. And let me tell you what happens. When you never give up and you have determination, you can even get this fat guy from New Jersey to come on your live. So it actually works. You never give up. And by the way, the whole 4 years I've been in on passive, I have always looked for a diamond in the rough. And I would report back to Ask when he'd come into a webinar. I would text him, see this person? This is a diamond. See this person? This is a diamond. See this person? I did that for 4 years, always pointing out other people. And I'm so sad, so sorry that it took me so long to see a diamond named Yvonne. And I tell you what, it's not an accident. It's just time. I was meant to meet her when? Last night. That's how things work in life. We don't know when and why, but when you hear that knock, open the door. You have one chance. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And you guys are actually the diamond in the rock that I discovered. I just want to be grateful because this Unpassive has given me what I've been looking for my entire life, not just for myself, but for those young girls that went through the same situation. My little sister involved, they passed because of situations that no children should ever have been made to go through. And because God kept me alive, even though with my scars, but I now know that those scars are turning into stars for the goodness of God. Now I represent, I'm not just by myself, there are a lot of other people behind me. I am just a voice here. I am just a messenger. I am just a service person to others. I am so grateful that God has ushered me into the presence of kings like you guys, into the presence of queens like you guys, into the presence of even the greatest king, Mr. Ashmufare, to give me that platform to go around the world to educate. It's a lot. A lot is still going on against me, but I now know that there is hope for me because I can climb on the dirt that gets thrown at me constantly. And then I know that it will help me to grow, and then in order to also help other people grow. It's a lot of work, but I am determined worldwide to build those schools in every country in the world, beginning from home. Home is right here in the United States, because there's a lot going on. You see a lot of, I've been driving around. I drove a Lyft only to get in touch with students so I can speak with them to find out things that are going. I go to street corners to meet the hungry there, to meet the homeless, because those are things that I suffered from, not because by design or by choice, but because somebody forced it onto my mom and her children. And I was the one who suffered the most, because they forced me into marriage at the age of 11. And my grandmother stood and fought for me and said, no, I will go to school. This small village with parents that didn't have anything, they came together and they donated things, palm nuts, guavas, fish pond, and they educated me to become the very first female child in more than a decade with a bachelor's degree. If I open my phone every day, those kids are writing to me, they are crying. Their hope is on me. And it's not just them. A lot of kids around the world, when something happens, they call me. And I have limited resources, but now my resources are going to be unlimited, so that I can reach deep, and I would do it for the rest of my life. I'm not working anymore because of work-related injury, but it's by design, so that I can focus on unpassive and do the best. And I'm going to do it, but I cannot do it alone until you guys hold my hand and show me the way, because you know better than I do. I'm learning. Please pray for me and hold my hand. Answer my call, answer my text, lead me, especially to use this technology, this new technology. I'm using it for the first time. But I also have a very beautiful, handsome boy that is helping me too, but he's in school for right now. But I just want to thank you guys for everything. Chris said the first statement you made was that the greatest thing, if you want to do anything, serve God first. Put God first before anything else. And it is true. There is Psalm 91 that my grandmother hired a Sunday school teacher to teach us when we were going through difficult times. Sometimes we slept. I was sleeping in the bush for more than 3 months because I was made to sleep in the bush. But for some reason, as a child, I was not even afraid of the animals. I was just in the bush, and parents of the village would come and drop food, stiltily drop food on plantain leaves for me to eat. And I ate, but something was coming in me. No matter what they did to me, I had this vision in me that I would go to school. I will go to the United States of America. I would do this, I would do this. And for some reason, God ushered me here. I'm speaking from that point. It's not of my own making. I don't know how it happened. I don't know, but God knows why it happened. I just want to be grateful because, Mr. Marty, you said you don't just get up and be a leader. You have to be good from the bottom of your heart to people. Go out there and do something good for people. Don't just sit there and expect. That is the true leader. You lead by doing. If you have a good meal, like Mr. Ashmufara said, if somebody offers you a good meal, wouldn't you want to share that meal with somebody? I want to share on passive with everyone. Even if I have to pay from my pocket to register to buy a retailer's position, if I'm going to be right in that aspect, I would do it. I would do it. There is a lot of things going around the world. I thank God you're going to work in Africa. A lot of things from the history. I read the history of the world. Africa, if Africa is the richest continent on the surface of the earth with the natural resources supplying it to the world, why is it that Africa remains poor? Because of colonialism, slavery, imperialism, and all those things are putting our people down. That's why you can see parents forcing their female child to go and marry so that they can collect little money and educate the male children. And it doesn't have to be. God has given us abundance. We can share. We are all part of the same whole. We came from the same parents. There is no need to look into color. Color has nothing to do. God never created color. God never created the black race, the white race, a red, purple race. God created the human race. And that is why I now know that I can just sit and say, I'm going to go the traditional way. I'm going to visit Chris Johnson. I'm going to visit Mati Digamo. I'm going to visit Linda Komodo. I'm going to visit Collins. I will just go and knock at the door so they can open it and I get in. Because that's the way we're supposed to live. I just want to thank you guys so much. You don't know You've graced my occasion. You've blessed this show. This show is not my show alone. All of us, it's a global movement. We are in this together. If you don't know, Divina is helping. A lot of people are even helping me. I don't even know their names. I just go there, I look, they're helping me. I don't even know. But by the grace of God, Unpassive has brought us together as a global family. We're going to know. I'm good at cooking. If you guys have birthdays, you have anything, I cook the best meals in the world. My mom did restaurant for 30 years to educate us. My grandmother taught me the best recipes, which I'll be forming it as a club. Call me. I'm ready. I can do anything. I can do it. And I need to, Chris, send me, I will text you. I'll text you. I need something from you, please. I'll text you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. The honor is both of ours, Yvonne. It's our honor to see people come out like this. And there's no stopping you. You can see the drive in you. Do what you keep doing. And like I said, put God first and you're never going to fail. I promise you that. Okay. And those scars that you have, that you turned into stars, I love that. But remember, those scars also represent something that was not good in your life, and you never want anyone else to have those scars. You're a prime example of how things were bad. And like, I'm sure time in your younger life, you said, oh my God, is this the way it's going to be my whole life? And you turned yourself around with God's help, with your grandmother's help. I mean, there's a reason God puts people in our lives to make us stronger, smarter, humbled. So just keep doing what you're doing. I think you're an amazing lady. You got wonderful words. I love you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yvonne, this made my day. Listen, you are a blessing from God. You do everything but glow for me. So keep doing what you're doing. We'll be here for you. You are a work of art, miss, and you'll be finding God loves you. That's why you're here. That's why we're all here, okay? We're all here. We all took crazy journeys. But even the bad things that happened to you, that's what made you a wonderful woman. Remember that.
Thank you.
Remember that. Thank you very much for inviting me here.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. I highly love and respect you all. Thank you. Yeah.
And she speaks, Marty, you probably didn't know, the first conversation, which was back in August, I had with Yvonne, and it was in August, I'm pretty sure. She texts me, Chris, I speak eight languages. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I could barely speak English, and this young lady's speaking 8 languages. That still blows me away. That shows nothing but intelligence. Me, 1 language. I can't imagine learning 8 languages. So God bless you for that. That means you're in touch with a lot more people than I can even think about through language. So, and I can't wait for the translation to come, because then I can start speaking all those languages and I won't even know it. So
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. You guys don't know, I wish my mom was here. She's gone to church, and but my son is listening, and being a founder.
What's his name?
His name is Al Golden. Al Golden.
Al, what's up? Hey.
He's upstairs. Thank you so much. And this is what is called the gift of life. If you ask me today, I will say I am the most happy, most wealthy, and the richest woman on the surface of the earth. I don't measure my wealth in terms of the volume of my bank account, but I measure it in terms of what has been invested in me, and my heart takes it. Because this is a dream come true for somebody who has been struggling. I did 3 jobs at one point. When they have babies at the hospital, single mothers between 1 day and 7 days old, I will go there and I try to open mini accounts for those children, so that when they become like 19, 20, 21, and they don't have the tuition to go to school, then the mother can take that money and help the child to learn a trade of their choice that they love, so that they can have something to do, not just roaming the streets or doing things that are not okay. And right now I'm also building roads, constructing roads in Ngwe, the village that I was born, of less than 100 people. If I don't know what to do. Those people, and I thank God that I've been giving little things to them, but that's not enough. Some of them have passed, but I must not waste time, but to do more, not just for that village, the global village. The world is a global village now, because through Unpassive, we can reach to places that we could not have otherwise reached, and reaching it in a good, better way, in a valuable way, in a way that is not tinted. And I'm just so grateful. I always give hugs to Mr. Ashmufere and you guys, virtual hugs. But the day is coming. I have my grandmother's traditional mantle. It is something that my grandmother blessed me with traditional. They dictated me at the age of 2, so that I would take this mantle to the world and bless everybody. Would have been doing it here in Minnesota, but I will continue to do it. I bless you guys virtually. And I like to speak in my dialect because there are certain things there that I cannot speak in English. So can you guys permit me to speak in the dialect to bless you guys? Ayawona, my grandmother. Ayawona, I mean, who bless them with traditional mantle on any. Maning wombe sigim, ni a woman's one more a season of yango. I zung grab more a season the yango. I want number American and Bukui, but get a chum, be yamber chum, but no chum weba where bercherango, ya women not a benembe, my grandmother, Monica Ambo. Nina mantle, traditional mantle on a ninga. Wembe Gym, the global village. Ne place a bomb gym and gasraganani. Mana ane tatarkang, ni mana amber ben bomb gym. Nan nengmana chong wo. Ember Mr. Chris Johnson, Mr. Marty Digamo, Collins Ma, Berimboni, ye enemy chats and chat, Lynn Nakamoto, Rob Gorman, Divina. All Bemijim been of Chumafur Tonga come to Meragan and Yawing ye. Bezingatiri Kerabo, a borabot, Ayane. Thank you guys so much.
Amen. Woo! Let's get this party started. Get out there and share. I know Marty's got to go. He's late for his live.
Yes, yes.
Our pleasure. Keep doing what you're doing. Everyone that make sure you like and subscribe Yvonne's channel. I did just subscribe.
Thank you.
Clicking on your tube. Robin Lynn, thank you for helping out our beautiful sister Yvonne and a lot of other people. So guys, I love every one of you. Yvonne she's telling you the truth. All you got to do is listen. Woo!
Thank you so much. Thank you. Auntie Lynn, do you have anything to say? I think we are on top of the hour so that we can join the others. Oh, is she talking? Auntie Lynn, anybody? John Barilla, whoever has anything to say, we will welcome that. Otherwise, I think we are at the end of the show. It's been on for 1 hour.
Yeah, we're good. So join us next week. It's every Sunday at this time, 11 a.m. Eastern, and we will be posting in the back office. So be sure to join us and be sure to share this the links with people so we get more people come in. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you, John Barilla and Robert Gorman, for moderating in the live chat in YouTube. Thank you very much. Thank you to Chris and Marty for your special appearance today. We do appreciate you so much. Thank you all, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We love you all.